morning. It's Wednesday morning. You came to get blessed. Start your day off with me, and it will be the best day. A week, a month, a year, a. You already know when I start flowing, I don't want to stop. Mic drop. Welcome to Word on Wednesday. Today, I'm reading Ask, Search, Knock, chapter 7, verses 7 through 12. But before I get straight into that, I'm going to recap on last week, which was loving your enemies. And some key takeaways from that was prayer, forgiveness, and it was also that love is an action. So let's focus and intentionally work to be kind and to love others. So now that is out the way, let's get straight into this reading, which says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be open. Who among you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Therefore, whatever you want others to do for you, do also the same for them, for this is the law and the prophet. I want to reiterate that what I'm reading, Sermon on the Mount, is Jesus speaking. So that whole verse right there, all those nuggets, all that wisdom that was just dropped on you, it's from Jesus himself. And I just read that out of the Christian Standard Bible. The whole ask, search, knock disclaimer before I get really into all that is I don't want people to think that, oh, all I have to do is imagine or think. I keep using the word think. That's the word of the day, think. I want a big house. I want $1 million. And it's just going to happen overnight or in a couple days or in a couple weeks without working for it, right? You can obtain a goal, even if that goal is to save $1,000, without you purposefully saving to reach that $1,000. So maybe that means that you buy groceries and you cook opposed to eating out, that you any extra money that you get, you move over into an account that you don't have direct access to, or maybe you hide that card. Like for me, I hide a certain card with a certain bank that I don't really use, and I also don't know the login, username, and password, so it allows for me to move money to it, and then that money just sits over there until I decide to take it out, and I can save that way. So to break that down, the ask and it will be given to you part, I had to first say, hey God, I had to put my petition out there. Hey, I want a house. When I first got to Georgia, I was only supposed to be there for 3 months. Hey God, I got to get this house. I know Georgia is the place where I can buy something for not that much. I need to get a house. Help me out. He like, all right, you want a house? Now work. Okay, well, I'm going to go to work, but I also have to contact a realtor, right? And then I have to put in the works in searching for a place, and then I also have to save money, which somehow the money just came together. And I think it's because it was God's will for me to buy a house. And then knock. The knocking part will go back to when I said I had to reach out on other people and say, hey, this is what I'm considering doing. This is the house I'm considering closing on. What do you think? And get knowledge, get some wisdom, get the input from other people, because we are not created to walk in this world alone. Lean on to somebody. Get somebody else's viewpoint on something, because if they've been here longer than you, then they probably have more experience than you. And why bump your head when you can go to someone else and it allows you to make more wise decisions, right? So that's kind of my takeaway from Ask, Search, Knock. That's, hey, putting that petition out there and then searching for guidance from God as well as those around you to ensure that you're going the right way. And then when you're confused or you're not really sure, then knocking, praying, the knock being the prayer, like, can you help me out here? That's kind of how I interpret this ask, search, knock piece, right? Also, this made me think about manifestation and having a goal. So, for example, a vision board. I remember my aunt telling me about a vision board. I maybe was like 20, 21, something. She was telling me, oh, I have this vision board and it has yachts on it and traveling and all this stuff. And then it tends to come to pass for her. And I didn't really invest in a vision board until 2018 when I attended a vision board party. But my vision board was a little bit different, the first one I made. So on one side, it was what I wanted to achieve and do in 2018. The other side was what I wanted to do 10 years from then. And then the middle was pretty much what I would want to do during the span of 2018 until that 10-year mark. But anywho, that vision board was or is a manifestation. You're putting down your goals, what you want to come to pass in that year. It's also like it serves as a reminder, right? This is what I said I wanted. This is what I asked for come this year. So now let me seek these things. Let me search and figure out how I can obtain this goal of saving $1,000. How can I obtain this goal of buying a house? How can I obtain this goal of having a closer relationship of God, right? And the knocking part, again, is like leaning on to mentors, leaning on to friends and family for some wisdom, some input, some additional guidance. And I actually want to turn on over to James chapter 2. So let's flip it on back and read a quick little scripture, which is faith and works. So James chapter 2, verses 14 through 26 is the entire section on faith and works, but I'm just going to read James chapter 2, verse 14 through 17, and then I'll jump on down and read the last verse, which is verse 26. So, James chapter 2, verse 14 through 17. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but does not have works? Can such faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothes and lacks daily food, and one of them says to them, go in peace, stay warm, and be well fed, but you don't give them what the body needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith, if it doesn't have works, is dead by itself. And James, the last verse here, chapter 2, verse 26 says, for just as the body without the spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. The reason of me reading that, James, was the faith without works, right? So you can have the faith, you can ask that question or put your petition up there of what you want, but without the works, without you doing the search part, right? And without you knocking to receive that extra help, then it's just a petition. Then it's dead. As James had said, a body without the spirit is it's the same as having faith without works. So let's put some works in, right? Prayer doesn't always have to be about asking, like, oh God, I need some new clothes. Help me get some new clothes. Help me get enough money to buy these Jordans. No, it could simply be, God, give me a vision, impart in my spirit what it is that you have for me to do and how I am to obtain that. Get deep, because we want to walk down a narrow path, the right path, right? And we want to ensure that our goals align with His. But that doesn't mean that as you wait, as you seek and anticipate for His guidance, for Him to send a mentor your way and to say, hey, this is what thus said the Lord, this is what you're supposed to be doing, that you do nothing. Still have to ensure that I'm growing so that when an opportunity presents itself, I meet the requirements. Hire me. I have this, I have that, and you could just check off the list. So you still have to do your works. I mean, as simply put as that. And the last verse says, therefore, whatever you want others to do for you, do also the same for them, for this is the law and the prophets. And that last verse beautifully summarizes or actually intertwined into what I discussed on last week of the love your enemies and the example I gave on your brothers, right? Your brothers, your other person or sister, and you want to do unto them as you want done unto you or as you do to yourself. And the action of love, right? The action of being kind. So, simply put, as it says, whatever you want others to do for you, do also the same for them. Now, it doesn't matter, or I don't think that it means, oh, I want $1,000, so I'm going to give you $1,000, and I know that you're going to give it back. Act out of wisdom now. You know if somebody isn't good for paying you back, don't give them anything. If they have sticky fingers, don't trust them around your stuff. Like, oh, well, I would never steal from them, so they're not going to steal from me. No, still act out of wisdom, right? We're still going to use some wisdom when we're doing things. However, it can just simply be being kind and loving. You know they have sticky fingers, so you're not going to leave them around. You could come over, but all my stuff is locked up. Yep, I have nothing. We can watch TV. And I have a toilet if you need to go to the restroom. But the takeaways that I want you all to get from this is the ask, search, knock, right? So let's put our petitions up there. This is what I want. This is what I desire. Lord, does this align with your will? As I await, I will seek, I will search, I will anticipate for your confirmations. And if ever I'm confused or uncertain on whether it's guidance or is this really God, giving me feedback or whatever, I will knock. I will send up another prayer, just asking for clarification, right? And you can simply say, Lord, make it plain. Put it right in my face so that I know it's from you. So that's kind of how I'm breaking down the ask, search, knock piece. Second takeaway being that have faith. If it says an evil one will still give good gifts to their children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? So when you ask him, you have to have that faith, have that expectation that it will come to pass as long as you are doing your works. Don't forget that, do your works. And lastly but not least, do unto others as you want done unto you. Okay? It's simple. I don't even know if I just winked right there. I feel like I blinked instead of winking. So that will conclude this. The next time you'll see my face will be February 5th on a Wednesday. And I'll go over the subject, do not judge. And that is chapter 7, verses 1 through 6. So actually the verses that precede this one here. And until next time, be blessed, don't be stressed, stay classy, remain handsome, and don't forget to write down, because I don't think I said it in my last video, but don't forget to write down the things in which you're grateful for. 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things, 4. Write them all down. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have.